Hey guys, welcome to Ringside as Wrestling. I am as always Jamie, joined by Callum, who is looking dapper tonight, trying to grow a beard like me. And we are joined tonight by Big Trouble, Ben Bishop. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Jamie. Cal, appreciate you guys having me. Very excited to be here.
Oh, dude, I've been so excited for this one. I'm sure you was talking to Callum before I got here. Man, you're going to be a megastar. I can just see it.
Oh, thank you.
You
I
know,
Agreed.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
you know.
Every so often on Twitter, it's usually a good way of gauging how popular someone is. I know it's Twitter can be an awful place at times, but usually when you see someone's name popping up all over Twitter, you think this guy is probably, going somewhere. Like the last time I really saw that was with Danhausen. Danhausen was all over Twitter. And you can't really refresh your feed at the minute without seeing Ben Bishop.
You
You're
know what? Some people think it's a good thing, and I always say like, you got to keep your name and your face on top of people's minds.
Yeah, and you're doing a good job of it. With
Thank you.
with I think you tweeted before actually, with very limited TV time, you're actually all over Twitter. You're very popular at the minute, like, and you've had only very limited TV time as well to do that. So how have you actually done that? I mean, how have you got managed to get your name everywhere? What's been the turning point as of late that's like taking you to that next level?
You know, it's just like embracing because you can sit here and I can sit there and throw a pity party. And I have before about like not getting opportunities and thinking that in a way thinking my shit don't stink and thinking like, oh, I'm a tall guy, I'm like a in good shape, good looking guy. I'm like, why aren't I getting more opportunities? Because everyone would tell me since I started wrestling, like, you know, oh, you're a big guy, Vince would love you, this, that, and the other, right? Like, you'll get a job in a year, you'll get a job in a year and a half, you get a job in 2 years. And it just wasn't happening.
Mm,
So I was kind of, sitting here and like feeling sorry for myself. And that's the last thing anybody should ever do in wrestling is sit
yeah,
there and do that. I just thought of like, what's a different way? Like, so like you look at guys like Matt Cardona, right?
yeah.
And you already said Danhausen, same type of deal. You look at guys like Joe Hendry, who were able to utilize social media to their best extent, right?
Mhm.
And you realize that on social media, like you're going to get a lot more eyeballs on you than potentially being on TV. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody wants to be on TV because that's where the paycheck is, and you can get paid off social media, but it's not easy. But when it talks about just like eyeballs, and I think I watched the Logan Paul documentary not too long ago, but at the end of the day, like people paying attention to that's currency in this day and age.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you can utilize social media to get more people to pay attention to you. And that's what I try to do because I'm like, hey, if I'm not on TV, I got to find some way. And it's
Sure.
not going to be just wrestling in front of, 200, 300, 400 people once a week on the indies because, not everybody uses Twitter, not everybody uses Instagram, and maybe in the couple like 20, 25 people will come to you after and be like, oh my God, you're so awesome. You did great. And that's a great feeling, but no one's going to go, not many people are going to go home and tweet or put on
Yeah.
Instagram that they saw you or give you your accolades online. Some promotions do a great job of that. The GCWs have great followings on Twitter, Beyond Wrestling, Defy, DPW in North Carolina. A lot of the ones over there too in the UK, Progress, Rev Pro,
Yeah.
do really well also. But that's few and far between for a lot of indies. A lot of indies aren't like, social media savvy to say.
Yeah.
So the only way to really get your name out there is to utilize social media.
Yeah, and you've done a great job, like I said. You kind of just popped up. I maybe only found out about you a few months ago, and I just thought, where has this guy been hiding? You're 6'7", right? And
Well, no, I'm sorry, 6'12",
It's-
six
6'12".
twelve, yeah, 6'12". There we go. Yeah, sorry, 6'12". And you just seem to have like such a good following already. And I think that following has led to what we heard about recently, where you've now got you tweeted about this quite a lot. You had a WWE tryout SummerSlam weekend. How did that feel? And do you feel like this is finally all of that hard work which you've put in previously paying off?
Honestly, yeah, I think that I've the thing is that I've obviously WWE is a dream of majority of wrestlers, right? There's a lot of other places you can work, but it's been my dream to be in WWE. And again, like getting my name out there, doing the videos, doing the social media stuff, that's just part of it. And I'm happy it got noticed because, I think I do have the ability to get people to pay attention to me, not just with my wrestling, but also with my personality. When I say larger than life, I mean that. It's not just my size, it's my personality as well. And fortunately, a guy like Gabe Sapolsky, who's, watches the indies and he roots for WWE. He's seen me wrestle before, and he was like, "Yeah, you're a big guy, but you're missing something, right?" Like and he told me that a few years back, and then I started getting myself out there with my personality, and that's what kind of got me to where I am. So I give myself a pat on the back. I'm not usually one to do that. I have to stay pretty humble. But it's sometimes you're gonna step back and be like, I'm proud of myself. And did the tryout, things went great, and we'll hear back in a day or two. And so we'll see what happens. But regardless, I'm happy. I'm happy that I was able to get the opportunity and able to show what I was able to do, and I'm proud of what I did there.
And we've heard from a few people before, but the tryouts, are they as brutal as we're here? I mean, they push you to your limits, right?
Yeah. Oh no, they definitely do. Mentally, physically, all that stuff. They really do push you to your limits.
And
did you?
Sorry, Jimmy. I've just got to say as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't John Cena make an appearance at the tryouts?
He did. He did. He
Oh,
was
wow.
there. He was there. Yeah. So he showed up the last day, and he spoke for about 5 minutes, but that was pretty freaking cool, man. Like honestly, it was just I didn't get like a chance to individually speak to him because he was just kind of in and out. But I he was standing 10 feet from me, right? So it was just kind of surreal. Kind of surreal.
What
So
did
you could see him?
Yeah. God, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that joke more than anything.
So do I. So do I. I don't know why I did it. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
What did you take away from listening to John Cena for 5 minutes? Because I'm sure even if it was only 5 minutes, there was still something that you can take away from that guy because he's a bank of knowledge. He seems like one of the smartest people in the business.
No, he just said the things that I think are true. He said, if you want to get far in wrestling, you got to be interesting. You got to be coachable, and you got to have like a work ethic. You got to be able to be different. You got to be able to listen and take advice. And when I say this, and I actually just got into with somebody on Facebook over this, but take advice from people where you want to go, right? You're not going to take advice from everybody. Every wrestling fan has their opinion. So a guy on Facebook just told me, "Hey, get away from all the goofy BS. Get away from all the videos. You got to start being a serious big guy, or no one's going to ever take you serious." I'm like, with all due respect, I don't need to take your advice. You haven't done anything in wrestling. I'm not being rude to you. I'm just telling you, like, thank you. I respect your opinion, but I don't need to take it. And he went off and called me, immature and I have a bad attitude, and I'm going to lose the bad because he's been a wrestling fan, and of course he knows more than me. So it's like I would go, like, would I go up to a guy who just got drafted in the NFL because I watched football for 20 years and say to him, "Yeah, man, you got to get a tighter spiral on your throw there, man. Like it's not good enough, dude. Just so you because I've ever sniffed the NFL."
What's the term for it? It's an armchair quarterback or something, isn't it? Like
Monday morning quarterback, people call it. Yeah. Armchair quarterback, same thing.
Yeah.
And I respect people's opinion. I do, and you can have your opinion about me, and that's fine. But when I say, like, "Hey, all due respect, I don't need to take your advice," taking mad at that. Like, but I got a guy now messaging me going off, telling me how bad attitude I am and how I'm never going to go anywhere. So it's every day. So it's kind of just goes off like
the wonders of social media. It's wonderful, isn't it? I love it when all this tribalism of all these fans and the talk about wear crates and this and I'm like, have you ever actually been in the ring? Have you the talk like they're in the ring, they know what they're doing, and it's so frustrating. It can be such a positive thing, but such a negative thing. Social media, it really can. I commend you, Ben, on the way you are on social media because I think you're amazing. I really do.
Well, thank you.
What's your thoughts on like the whole tribalism at the moment? Because to us, it's getting out of control.
dude, it's unfortunate because like wrestlers, we don't think that way.
Mm.
Like we don't
Yeah.
think that. We don't have tribalism. Like everyone just assumes because I've made a few videos
Right.
making fun of trolls. No, I'm not making fun of fans. I'm making fun of the trolls
Yeah.
and the people that are rude and they're mean. Um, they assume I don't like AEW for some reason. Like I don't know why that is like all of a sudden something that
Yeah.
they think that that's how I think. I love AEW. I think AEW is great. You know, I have no people say all the time, "Oh, you must hate AEW because they didn't hire you." I'm like, "No, they can't hire everybody." Like I'm not mad at them. They have Tony Khan has his own prerogative, and that's great. You know what they're
Yeah.
doing great. It's a great company, you know, and I just think that I didn't have anything for me. That's okay. I have no ill will towards them. And if WWE doesn't have anything for me, I have no ill will towards them either. You
Sure.
know,
Yeah.
but it's just the tribalism is so silly because all these fans think that us as wrestlers like have our opinions and we're either just
Yeah.
only pro AEW or pro WWE. And like we don't care. A lot of us just
Yeah.
want to get paid. We don't care who
Yeah.
it is, you know, like, it doesn't matter. And a lot of us are friends. A lot of us are friends with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so spoiled at the moment with wrestling. I mean, as a fan, I am so happy at the moment. You've got WWE, AEW, TNA. I mean, I watch a lot of MLW. All their shows are free on YouTube. They're killing it at the moment. I think as a fan,
Mhm.
we're so spoiled.
Got a lot. I mean, look at MLW's roster right now. They got an awesome.
Right? Yeah.
They got. I worked with a few of the guys that are in the top, like the Matt Riddles of the world. Cruel. He goes by
Yeah.
Mads Kruger, but I don't know if he's
Yes.
Cruel still in MLW. I'm
Yeah.
not sure,
He is,
but yeah,
he's still there.
Mads Kruger, Cruel, whatever. Awesome. One of my favorite big guys to work with. Another one of my favorite big guys to work with. I worked with them a few weeks ago, or about a month ago. Bishop Dyer, obviously, you know, Baron Corbin,
Yeah.
formerly known as.
Yeah.
They have an awesome roster of great talent there. They really
Yeah.
do. And you know, it's not considered like a huge company, but you got to look at their talent. It's unbelievable.
Hey,
And NWA too. You know, Thomas
Yeah.
Lavin.
NWA. Absolutely. Yeah.
I love the Southern Six guys, Kerry Morton and
Yeah.
Silas Mason, Alex Taylor, throughout really the whole roster. And I think it's really a great time. I know Cardona says stuff like this a lot, but it's really a great time to be a wrestling fan for sure. So
100%.
there's a lot of opportunities. And then we forget about like TNA. And like TNA
Right.
firing on all cylinders too.
Who'd have thought, right? I always think this, and I've said this in a couple of interviews recently, but back in 2002, when it was NWA TNA, and they were kind of like having that little feud with WWE through 2006, 2008, and now they're working with WWE, and they've got a great working relationship. And in that time, TNA has rebranded, had their ups and the downs, and now they're back stronger than ever. And I'm so happy to see it because we've got like a lot of people say AEW is the de facto number two, but now you've got TNA coming up as like to challenge that as well. You've got like people competing for all these different spots, and all these companies are doing so good. And as Jamie said, and you said, the fans are spoiled. And
Yeah.
I think we don't realize how good we've got it sometimes. I complain sometimes, and I have to stop myself and go, yeah, but what am I really complaining about? Like, if I don't like something, I can just watch something else.
I'll say this, it's okay. It's okay to have opinions though, too. Like if you can and you could say like, hey, I don't really like what they're doing here with, for example, you know, just throwing it out there and this isn't true. I don't think this, but you know, if you went out and you said, oh, I don't love what they're doing with Solo Sikoa, or I don't love what they're doing with Hangman Adam Page. It's okay to have those opinions. It's the people that are like Solo Sikoa sucks and he's horrible and he's this, or Hangman's a terrible wrestler and he's terrible at this and he's that. And it's just like that's the stuff that gets me, right? Like, you can have your opinions. You can say like, I don't love the character. He's not one of wrestlers I like, you know, because it's at the end of the day, we're in a subjective business. Like it's an art, like comedy is, like music is.
Yeah.
I have a ton of friends. I don't share music interests with them. I don't share comedic interests. I don't even share like a lot of political interests with some of the friends that I have. But it doesn't mean we don't like each other. We don't talk shit to each other every day. We don't yell at each other. We're not like, it's okay to not have the same opinion. Like with comedy, like I think people will say to me all the time, "Oh, you're not funny." It's like, well, that's your subjective thought. Like you can say, obviously, some people do, or I wouldn't have a like the kind of following that I do. You know, I don't think every comedian's funny. Like I don't find, and he's obviously extremely successful, and doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. I don't find Tom Segura very funny,
Mhm.
but he's a mega star. He's a mega comedian, and that's awesome. But it's just not for me. I'm not going to watch him, right? And that's
Yeah,
okay.
agreed.
He's just not for me. I like other. I might have a friend that likes Tom Segura. I'm not going to tell him he's wrong and he's an idiot because he thinks Tom Segura is funny.
You're right.
It's just not. It's not for me.
It's not even just wrestling. That's just how life works.
Yeah.
You're never going to. You shouldn't surround yourself with people who only agree with you on everything.
That's.
I love Will Ferrell. I think Will Ferrell is a comedic genius. My wife can't stand him, but I'm not going to file for divorce.
Right? Like, yeah, it's okay. And I think it's like what has happened, especially since like the pandemic, is I think, and especially in the States, but I assume the same in the UK, is that a lot of people, went through a time of, loneliness, and the only community that they have is online. So they want to align themselves with people who think the exact way they do. So they feel like a sense of community. And if you think different, you're an enemy. Like you're not like, and it's just trickled over to, and I'm not involved in other Twitter spaces, or you can call it like movie Twitter or gaming Twitter or music Twitter. I don't, but I see it in wrestling, and just that people are so toxic with each other. And like you can't voice an opinion. And this is on both sides. Like I see these like troll accounts and these, people, and the worst thing that's ever happened is like the engagement accounts and the stuff that people just for engagement will say AEW sucks just because like, oh, this is going to get 500,000 views because it's going to get torn to shreds. Right. So it is just,
it's the low hanging fruit. It's the
low hanging fruit. And that's what we've got to, because obviously Twitter pays off engagement. So people have found like, oh, if I just, even if they think it or not, I bet some of these people don't even care. Right. They just see it and they can be like, I'll put up a picture of Mercedes Moné and say she's overrated. And then all of a sudden, boom, people are going to run with it. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's unfortunately what happened as well. So I think it's like a little bit of both. It's that like kind of epidemic of loneliness, as well as people just like, I have nothing else. All I care about is being relevant online, I guess. Right. So
look at this. We're only 16 minutes in. We've already psychoanalyzed the wrestling community.
I think about this more than I should, to be honest.
Well, I did want to ask you as well. Obviously, you mentioned Mads Kruger, who we had on the show it was a couple of years ago about now. Lovely guy, awesome guy. What are you? I mean, obviously, you wrestled a big guy like him. What are you like? Obviously, do you prefer that, or are you more? Do you like working with the smaller guys?
People have asked me this a lot, and I think when I first started, I was always, I'll say, a little more. Way to say it. I was a little bit more apprehensive about wrestling bigger guys, because I'm like, oh, because when I was at first, I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? Right. Like, I'm a big guy. I'm not the strongest guy in the world. Like, so I'm not going to be like lifting guys over my head, or, I'm like, what can I do? Like my moves are all more lifting based.
Yeah.
And if I can't lift a guy who's 330 pounds or something, how am I going to get over? Right. But that's just me. That was just me being pretty green and, not really having a understanding how to work yet. Now wrestling big guys is sometimes way easier. Honestly, it's because people, when you see two big guys, people don't see that very often. So when I get in a ring with a guy like Cruel, people are like, oh my God, look at these two. These aren't guys that we see every day.
Yeah.
Which basically means we don't have to do a lot. We can go in there and we can just like slug it out and hit each other, safely, but like, hitting each other hard. And people will be like, oh man, this is different than anything else on the card. We're not going to go out. And even though sometimes Cruel likes to do some crazy stuff, but we don't have to go out there doing like stuff off the top or crazy moves or anything like that. We can get over with a couple big moves, couple this, that, and the other. And, I love the guy. I think and breaking kayfabe. I love the guy. He's an awesome wrestler. But he just knows how to, he really knows how to work, especially with big guys. With big guys too, a lot of times is what we call the proverbial big man heat, and big guys sometimes don't like other big guys. He's the complete opposite. He's a guy, since I first met him, he's been nothing but cool. And but again, like, now I just like working with good workers. So it's like my last match I just had Tuesday night was against Nic Nemeth. and
Oh,
it was
cool.
like, and that's the second time I've wrestled him this year. Um, but it just, you go out and I get to so I had a travel day from hell. So my flight was delayed 4 hours from Atlanta to Kansas City, and I got to the building at 8:30. The show started at 7:30. Thankfully, me and him were the main event. So I ran it. We were basically we were gonna we were wrestling at 9. Like that's when we were gonna go out. So I had 30 minutes to get everything on, get ready, and go out there. And we had an awesome match because he is just such a pro, like, and he just
Yeah.
gets it. He gets
It's so
obviously
smooth,
he gets
isn't
it.
it?
It's
Yeah.
smooth. And everyone was, everybody afterward was like, "You guys had such an awesome match. That was so fun." I'm just like, again, I'll pat myself on the back, but it's so easy. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so, and no, and people say like, "Oh, are you nervous to wrestle a guy like that?" I'm like, "No, I'm less nervous to wrestle a guy like
Yeah,
that." Like,
good point.
it is,
Yeah.
it is
Yeah,
like, it's comforting because you're just like, I know we're gonna go out there and he's a calming influence, and
Yeah.
it's just go out there and and he's gonna make it good. He's gonna, like, it's, I mean, you could be the drizzling shit, but you can go out there and he'll at least make it serviceable or make it good. And we had a great time. The guys is one of the best wrestlers, unfortunately, because of how he was portrayed in WWE. People won't ever truly give him his flowers,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
he's one of the best wrestlers in the world over the past 15 years.
Yeah. Ridiculously underrated.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. The thing
Yeah.
is, he did his job so good. Like he made his opponents look so good. People forgot that that was him being good too. Do you know what I mean?
It's
Like,
it's 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 just as difficult to do something like that. Like, look
yeah,
at, like, I think I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day about this, and I know Nick gets these comparisons a lot, but think about like a Mr. Perfect. It's
mm,
Yeah.
almost like nowadays Mr. Perfect gets his flowers
Yeah.
more than he did when he was wrestling.
Mhm.
Because people look back and be like, "Oh my God, look how good he was."
yeah,
And that's an unfortunate thing, right? Because like he was
Yeah.
one of the best in the WWF, in his whole career, not just in WWF.
Yeah.
But it's like, but people realize like, oh man, like this guy really could go. Like, but
yeah,
he just never was positioned as a top guy. He was the guy the top guys beat,
yeah,
but because he made it look, and he made all the top guys look like $1 million, and that's
Yeah.
Nick Nemeth.
and you need those guys in the business.
Of course. That's
Yeah,
why he was there forever, like
exactly.
he had a job forever there, and he could still do it. The guy's still in great shape. He can still go. He's 45 years old, but he's still looks the
He
same
looks
as he did.
He's
incredible.
not
He looks
changed.
great. No, no, and he's a great person. That's the other thing. He's a down to earth, cool guy, and he just gets it. He gets it, and it's just, it was like I said, one of the two of the most fun matches I've had in my career was against him. And hopefully we can do it again. It's always fun. It's always easy. It's a good time.
Speaking of your opponents, and you mentioned working with big men as well.
Mhm.
I've realized recently, over the last few years, there's been a niche audience who really enjoy big meaty men slapping meat. That's what
Yeah, same. Yeah.
and I love these horse matches. If you could choose, let's say, a top three. We don't usually do lists on Ringsiders, but if you
Okay.
could choose a top three big men throughout history that you could work with. Who would it be?
Well, if we call him a big man, it's tough to call him a big man because I wouldn't be a big man in like yesteryear, but one of the guys I'd
You're
love to
six
work
foot
with
12.
now, I know, not me. I'm talking about this guy I'm about to say.
Okay.
I'd love to work with I'd love to work with Gunther.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He wrestles like a big man, so I'll
Yeah.
give him
Yeah.
that. My favorite wrestler of all time is Kevin Nash, so Kevin Nash
Nice.
has to be on the list. And third, honestly, it's a toss up, but I think it'd have to be Bam Bam or Big Boss
Oh,
Man. And
Yeah.
so I think
yes.
because just two outstanding workers for their
Yeah.
size. All three guys I mentioned all bring something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that would probably be my list right there. And
Wow.
in no
I'm
particular
with,
Great
order,
list.
but yeah.
yeah. We spoke to Big Boss Man's daughter a few days ago,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
and people, again, we said this. I don't think people realize just how good he was.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
No, he was.
Absolutely.
He's amazing. He's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
and again, that's a guy. He was a bigger guy than like a Mr. Perfect or a Nick
Mm,
Nemeth, but like another guy that was used to really
yeah.
get people over.
Yeah.
And but no one realizes like he was wrestling forever before he got like, big, right? He got his big push and he was part of the corporation and all that stuff in WWF, but he was big Bubba Rogers on the like in the territory days, and he wrestled some of the best guys, and even Hogan, Hogan's handpicked him to work with him because the guy could work. And when he didn't obviously have to, and he's a bigger guy, sometimes the top guys don't want to work with the really big guys because you think like maybe they're quote unquote unsafe, which we run into a lot. A lot of us big guys kind of have that. Everyone's like, oh, they're probably just like big and going to hurt me or something. But a guy like that doesn't do it. So, those are all guys that know how to work. And I would have loved to wrestle any of them, at any point. So maybe Gunther's still on the table. So maybe that can happen.
Hey, that hopefully it will happen.
Hopefully it will. Hopefully it will.
Before we start to wrap up, Ben, I just wanted to say, like, first of all, it's been great speaking with you. We'd love to speak to you again, but like I said before we start recording, hopefully we'll have to go through WWE next time.
It's like, have you ever seen the movie Good Will Hunting?
No, I haven't seen it.
So Ben Affleck and Matt Damon in the movie, basically, just to give you a snap, Matt Damon his name's Will Hunting, and he's a guy who never lived up to his quote unquote potential. Right. And every day Ben Affleck picks him up and they go to a bar, they go to their job, and it's the same thing. It's a Groundhog Day. Every day is the same.
Yeah.
But Matt Damon's character is super smart. He's like a savant. He's like all this, but he never lives up to it. And there's a big thing in the movie where Ben Affleck, this big monologue Ben Affleck has with him, and he tells him like, I just hope one day I knock on your door and you're not there. I hope it's just like,
there we go.
And I don't see you. And obviously, I don't want to spoil it, but that's what ends up happening. It finally gets out of Boston. Finally, like, I don't want to see you in Southie anymore. I want to knock on your door, and I just don't want you to answer.
Yeah.
And that's how I've been talking to other people. So it's funny. That's what I think of. And like promoters have said, it's like, I hope to never have to book you again. Like, I don't want to book you anymore. Right.
That says a lot about how well liked you are as well, Ben.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's at the end of the day, that's what's more important. So like, I obviously have whatever people want to think, a controversial online presence because I like to make jokes. I don't take myself too serious. So I sometimes assume, and I know what assume does, it makes you ass out of you and me. Mm-hmm. But I'll sometimes assume that other people have my same sense of humor, right? Like I have a self-deprecating humor. So I like to have fun, and I poke fun at myself, and I poke fun at little funny wrestling tropes. But at the end of the day, I've just been like, I'm a nice guy. Like I'll stick up for kind of what I believe in, but I'm not gonna take myself too serious. I don't like getting into tiffs online. I will, because I'll speak my mind, but I don't want to make anybody feel bad. And I'm not here to like actually like talk about things you truly like believe in or you're upset about, and or get you upset, because I don't want to make people upset. But at the end of the day, like I just, one thing that always stuck out to me about certain individuals, and unfortunately, like when they pass, is guys. You look at guys like Brody Lee. You look at guys like Bray Wyatt. I know I'm missing a few who've been talked about, but like guys like that, when you don't hear anyone say like, "God, you're gonna miss how good of a wrestler he was," right? No one says that. The guys like that, people say like, "We're gonna miss the person, like and how good of a person he was." And how much we enjoy, and that's what matters more. Like if I'm remembered being a good wrestler over being a good person, I didn't do something right. So so that's kind of my mantra. I want to like that. I don't like the whole like you either make money or you either make friends or you make money in this business. And I think a lot of people, Triple H kind of said that in character, but so a lot of people take it to heart and think like I got to be a dickhead. And that's going to get me ahead. And it's just that's not how you got to be. I think we can all make wrestling better. I think the tribalism is unfortunate right now, but I think wrestlers can do a really good job. And then guys like you too, can do a really and be positive, like what you like, dislike what you dislike, and that's okay too. And but just have fun with it. Have fun. It's okay to say your opinion, but saying it in a respectful way is also okay to do too. So yeah, that's kind of my mantra, like moving forward in wrestling.
A great mantra, and something we can all probably learn a bit from as well in the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we're wrapping up now, Ben, I'm going to put all the links in the description for finding and following Ben Bishop. Absolute pleasure to speak with you, Ben. And again, good luck with the finding out from the tryout. All good. Hope it all good.
Fingers crossed.
Even if you don't even if nothing comes from this, I have no doubt your future's bright.
Thank you so much.
We'll
Absolutely.
look forward to seeing you again in the future, whether it's an interview or on TV.
I appreciate you guys. All the best to you guys as well. I love what
you,
you guys are doing. This was a fun podcast. You guys keep it light, keep it fun. And yeah, we will definitely be at least talking or communicating, whatever, in the future. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you, man. Take care.
You guys.
See you soon, man. Thank you.